All right, welcome to episode 158 of Those Millennials Podcast. Today I'm your humble, grateful, extremely thankful, still thankful host, Kev the Classic. I'm here with my nearest and dearest, my boys and friends in real life. Rell's hitting the brown already. Rell, how you doing? How's your pockets? How's your mental health? Right.
Don't
It's
even
an
matter, bro.
audio podcast, Rell. You have to say something. There's
It
people.
don't even matter, bro. I just lost. The Lakers just lost. Series is over, bro.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Yeah,
And
you
of
want to talk
course,
to me?
the day Dustin comes on the pod is the day the Denver Nuggets go up 2-0 in the Western Conference Finals against the Los Angeles Lakers. Dustin, how you doing? How's your pockets? How's your mental health?
We're doing good on this side. Mental health is a
Sure.
little struggling with the Nuggets
Sure.
right now. So
You and Gab turned up all the way. 2 and
oh
2 and 0 and 1 and 0 over there.
oh man,
It's all smiles over there.
oh yeah, it was funny. You know how the NBA came out with the pick'em brackets? Well, in my bracket, I have the Heat and the Nuggets in the finals, and everybody was clowning my ass to
Tell
start.
you right now, that's not going. I'm gonna just say right now, I bet the NBA bosses don't want that. ESPN don't want that because that's gonna be a not watch the NBA finals that much. Anyway, all right. So I'm just being real. All right, so thank you guys for listening. We appreciate all the love, everybody that watched us on YouTube. I saw the YouTube got to 100 views. Shout out to you guys that watched on YouTube. We love you. We appreciate you guys. Thank you.
You got to 100 views. What was this?
Just anything. Anyway, keep up the good work. Don't forget to like, favorite, subscribe. Sub up if you're new around here. Please subscribe. If you're listening on Apple, leave a review. Leave a comment, and don't forget to follow us on Instagram. All right, so before we get to the game, because we're recording this literally right after the game, live reaction. What time is it? I want to be correct. It is 8:43 on a Thursday. Like Rell and Dustin just said, the Denver Nuggets just went up 2-0 on the Lakers, and we'll get to that. We'll get to the that's probably going to be the meat of all this. But first, as always, we like to do our not list before things get started. Not list is not really robust, and it's gonna be NBA basketball sneaker related still. And then we'll get to our topics. We'll get to the draft. We'll get to Victor Wembanyama. What my Blazers should do in the NBA draft. Yeah, and we'll get. JJ. We're gonna talk about John Morant, but we'll get to JJ's Reddick, specifically his comments about John Morant. And how to
JJ Bayless.
All right, but first, not list. Just how it sounds. For those who are new around here, it's a list compiled of stuff that we're not going to talk about, but technically it just gives us a reason to talk about. Just how it sounds. First and foremost, number one on that list. There's only 4 on the not list today, so leaks, and I'm always careful with this. So it's been leaked. Anthony Edwards' signature sneaker with Adidas has been leaked, and
I like it.
I came on here and killed Adidas basketball, so I don't want to reiterate that. But I actually, again, with leaked photos, you want to be careful because this might not be the final product, But from what it looks like, I can see the vision. It gives me Harden / Dame vibes. It's a little, it's a little a bit of both of those and those. And I can see how they can do some fun colorways with the cage. So. Look it up, check on your Googles. So Anthony Edwards sneaker is on the way. Also,
I would say this: the Hardens are nice too. That's another shooter I slept on, but then when I got him in my hand. I actually got a pair of those now. Those Hardens are nice.
And in another sneaker news, Sabrina Ionescu sneakers were official images leaked of those today as well. Those actually look pretty good. I want to see those in hand, so I can't wait to go into a Nike and check those out whenever those.
I'm cool on these.
Those looks all right.
Cool.
Number 2 on the not list. Yeezy. Adidas plans on selling Yeezys again. So apparently in the well, why are you guys shaking your head? Adidas is planning to sell.
Because of course they was gonna fucking sell Yeezy again.
Who didn't know this? It came out last month that I think they lost upward of like close to $200 million in sales because they were just holding on. How much was it?
It was close to like 500 mil.
500 mil.
And they're sitting on like $1.3 billion worth of stock.
New Adidas stock, and they were just sitting on them. So now They're gonna be selling those real soon. Kanye West gets 15% still because he owns part of the name, the Yeezy brand. And then they said some of the proceeds they was going to give to charity. So it's going to be interesting to see if there's still hype around the sneaker, even though Kanye West is no longer technically with Adidas. So that's going to be very interesting for sneaker news. And you guys have any comments about that? No?
You know, Adidas, y'all not even in my top shoes and no
Taking
more.
L's?
Taking L's. Just I gotta say, like Kanye said before, Yeezy jumped over Jumpman, and now that he's not a part of it, Adidas faltered, and now Adidas is
I heard
Nike's
they're
little
coming
brother.
out with a bang though. I heard the first sneaker, the Adidas sneaker they're bringing back is going to be the Pirate Blacks. So I already know how those are going to go. Those are going to fly off shows because I think those are ones that really hasn't really come. I know they retro. They brought back the Turtle Doves a couple times. They brought back the Zebras a couple times, but the Pirate Blacks they haven't really brought back like that. So I expect a lot of people to be outside picking up some of them Pirate Blacks. I think that's all I got for sneaker stuff off the top of my dome. Oh, one more thing. So this is all I still counted as one. Next year, and I'm going for these for sure. Next year, they say that the Galaxy phone posits are coming back. The sneaker that literally people died over, RIP. One of the best phone posits of all time, one of the most hyped sneakers of all time. Arguably Nike's best year when they released those sneakers. They released the KD4 Nerf. They released the LeBron 7 Big Bang and the Kobe. I forgot the name of Kobe, so off the top of my head. But that was like the best Nike All Star release out of all the sneakers that they dropped. It was pretty cool. So yeah, man, Galaxy Phone Posits coming back. I think when they came out, they were like 180. I think they're gonna be upwards of like 230 or 240 when they come out this time. So see if you guys can afford those. All right, number 2 on the not list. This happened recently. I'm wearing the shirt right now. So Las Vegas Aces head coach Becky Hammond has been suspended for 2 games without pay for violating leagues and team respect in workplace policies. This one apparently I don't know super all the details, but apparently Dearica Hamby, who was formerly on the Las Vegas Aces, filed a complaint because she felt like she was being mistreated and misused by and bullied was the word that was in quotation that was used by Becky Hammond because she was pregnant. So I don't even know how to go about this, so I just kind of wanted to bring this up. There's three men in here talking about that. Becky Hammond much recently came out and said that she didn't feel like she bullied Dearica, and they just it sounds like it's just a back and forth of.
The only thing I would say is I just don't like how Swift. I mean, it's bad enough like WNBA. Like it's, I wouldn't say like there's a lot of issues going on as far as like organization, legal. But I mean, I just don't like how like they took the pick and like it was just a bunch of shit. Like like I'm not saying man,
Oh
like
yeah, thank you. The Las Vegas Aces lose their 2024 first round pick, right?
2025.
2025 first round pick.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, which in WNBA, like first round picks don't mean shit because they release them after they play a year most of the time, anyways nowadays. So it don't even really mean anything. But my thing is, WNBA, stop trying. I mean, this I don't know. I just wish there was. I don't know. I wish maybe there was a better way to go about this.
Yeah. Like I said, I have no real comment. I mean, clearly when
Because what's the point of finding a team that in the league that's barely making money? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, where's the fucking money going when this league barely makes any fucking money as is?
Dearica was clearly upset of how the Las Vegas Aces let her go because when she was, I don't know if it was waived or traded. I don't want to use the wrong terminology.
She was traded to the Sparks.
She was traded. Okay, I thought she was. When she was traded to the Sparks, she left this really long, big Instagram message talking about how there was misconduct within the organization and the truth will come to light. Yeah. So we'll see how that goes. The WNBA season literally starts tomorrow, right? Yeah, tomorrow.
Saturday.
With no, the Aces start Saturday, but tomorrow is the Mercury versus the Sparks tomorrow.
How the Aces don't have no home games on the opening weekend? Like, come on, WNBA, get your shit together. I mean, I'll be back. At least I'll be in town
the Aces play the Storm on Saturday, so that's gonna be fly.
I'll be there.
That'd be fly. All right, so number 3, I just added it to the not list, guys, because it's so I kind of want to talk about. No, actually, I'm not even going to do that. So we're just going to go ahead and skip. Let's get to the game first, and then we'll talk about Ja Morant and his comments. We've let it simmer and talk enough. So obviously, right after the game, the Denver Nuggets pulled away and somehow won 108-103 against Los Angeles Lakers. A game where I'm gonna call it. And I know Skip. I know what Skip Bayless is doing right now. He's warming up his voice for tomorrow morning. He's doing one of these. He's drinking salt water. He's drinking tea because I know he's gonna have a lot to say. So to me, this was the first game LeBron was old to me. It felt old. I know he was tired. Definitely tired. You could tell every time the camera zoomed in on his face. He was tired after the second quarter. He ended up playing. I thought I had it right here.
He played 40 minutes.
Yeah, he played 40 minutes. If you just look at a stat line, this is one of those games where you just look. If you was to look at a stat line, you'd be like, "Oh, he played all right," but no, I can count. There was like 5 plays where they were uncharacteristic, capped off by that open dunk that was supposed to be reversed. That wasn't.
Bro, the ball was slippery. Bro, the ball was slippery when he got his hands on it, bro.
He looked like he jumped and he was like, "Oh fuck, I'm this high," and then he like lost the grip of it. Like
you could tell the ball was wet when he first dribbled it. The ball was wet.
Yeah.
Get the cape out, Rell. Get the cape out. Look. Before that play, LeBron missed. He mistimed his jump and missed a wide open layup that was right under the rim. His shot selection was not great. I will say this: defensively, he was fucking pretty good. It was a fucking A-, B+ defensive game is for him. But obviously, at this age, it takes a lot out of him. Jamal Murray went from a pumpkin in the first half to being
the first 3 quarters.
Doing his best Jason Tatum Game 6 impression. We saw Tristan Thompson for a brief stint out there. We saw Reggie Jackson.
30 seconds.
What else happened? The Lakers started Jared Vanderbilt in the first quarter, which it looked like it worked for a little bit. So Dustin, since you're here, we're gonna start with you, obviously. So biggest takeaways, what you liked, what you didn't like, what do you feel like your Nuggets need to work on for game 3? And yeah, man, what'd you think?
So going into this game, I was anxious and nervous because it's fucking LeBron coming to town. Like it's kind of like Tom Brady. Like when you have LeBron on your team, you're guaranteed like a chance at any game, right? And we came out, we looked good in the first quarter. It was a little sloppy. We came out like slow. That's kind of the Nuggets MO. It's either we come out, we smack you in the face, or you come out and smack us in the face. And that's what the first quarter was. I mean, we came out with the lead at like 27-25. And then the second quarter, we couldn't get a basket to fall. And then we bitch too much about the refs. Like you could see it multiple times throughout that whole game. You got KCP running up to the ref while he's running down the floor. You got the Nuggets have a really bad history of doing this, and it cost them games.
You guys are not Luka bad though, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but it's still, in my opinion, that's one thing. Like I wish the Nuggets would just do is just kind of like, hey, it is what it is. Just fucking lock in and play. And when they stopped bitching in the fourth quarter, I mean, they went on that huge run, and their defense carried them. I mean, there was a stint there of like 7 minutes where the Lakers didn't have a field goal attempted, or a field goal made, a field goal made for like 7 minutes. And in that stretch, I think the Nuggets went on like a 10-0 run or like a 12-0 run, something like that. And like we looked good. And I have to say it, Jamal Murray saved our ass. He hit a couple of those tough step back threes in LeBron's face and AD's face. And then MPJ, like sometimes when he shoots it with a contested defender, I'm like, dog, what are you doing? Then it goes in. I'm just like, all right, cool. Like, let it be. Aaron Gordon's got to figure out where he's got to be on the court. When he's not in that dunker spot, he just looks lost. And when you got
shoot.
Yeah, he just looks lost. And the worst thing is
6-on-4 when he's out
there. Yeah, pretty much. And when you got AD who wants to roam and you're sitting in the dunker spot and Jokic makes a move to the basket or guys are driving in, AD has a clear shot to block it. It's just tough to do, you know? And I gotta give hats off to Jamal. He played his fucking heart out in the fourth quarter, and that's what eventually won us the game. And shout out to Bruce Brown for, stepping up and playing big minutes. I mean, I'm just looking at the minutes played. Jamal played 43 minutes. I mean, on his ESPN interview, he had to take a quick moment to catch his breath. You had Jokic who played 42, Aaron Gordon who played 39, and then Bruce Brown who played 37.
Bruce Brown played more minutes than KCP after KCP success in game one.
The foul trouble kept him out.
The foul trouble kept him out, but Bruce Brown brings a different level of scoring to the Nuggets that KCP can't. And Bruce Brown can initiate the offense when Jamal Murray's getting smothered or trying to get somebody set up. And KCP, he's a 3-and-D guy in my opinion, and that's how the Nuggets use him. And Bruce Brown, he can bring the ball up, he can drive it to the hole, he can, he can hit the shots, not as much as KCP, and Bruce Brown, he's a better switch defender too than KCP.
Bruce Brown just a hack, bro. Bruce Brown is just a hack. So just go ahead. Just go ahead and stop that, bro. Stop lying to the people. Bruce Brown is just a hack.
So is KCP. But I do gotta say though, that fourth quarter performance by Jamal and MPJ hitting those shots. I mean, that's what really kept us in the game was those two guys. And Jokic is another triple double for him. And he didn't even shoot the ball well. He started the game off 4 or 5. And then he finished
really good defense.
Yeah, and he finished of 9 of 21.
I can't wait till the second spectrum stats come out so I can look at them. But I'm pretty sure the best defender on Jokic tonight was LeBron.
Yeah, he was. There was a lot of turnovers, and LeBron forced a lot too, especially in that pick and roll with Michael Porter.
Yeah.
When Michael Porter came off that pick and roll, he tried to throw it over top LeBron. LeBron would tip it and go the other way. So, like I said, LeBron, man, hats off to him.
Like I said, the LeBron played again. Don't let the media in. There's going to be a lot of talk about LeBron's again. Well deserved too, because this was
not on LeBron.
It's not on LeBron. It's not all on LeBron. I'm not saying that, but this was the first
2% on LeBron. If it was 100%, it's 2% on LeBron. 2 fucking percent. Out of 100%.
Right, well, before since you want to speak, I'm gonna let you rock. Go ahead and speak before I go. Go ahead.
Go ahead. You already went, bitch. What the fuck you talking about? You have to fucking say what you fucking gotta say.
Why you getting?
I'm just giving you banter. I'm just saying.
I'm letting you rock. You haven't spoken yet, so you can go ahead and go.
I'm gonna be quick.
Okay.
I don't have much to say about this fucking series.
Okay.
Or this fucking game anyway. LeBron's old, but he's in Robin mode. So the one I'm concerned about is the bitch with the eyebrows that shoots what he does. I'm sick of his shit, bro. I'm literally fucking tired of it. It's not even the fact that you bring it defensively, but AD, you can score so much without even having a single play drawn up for you. So I just think that AD, his lack of dominance on the ball. The fact that Rui Hachimura was the leading scorer for most of the game.
First time we brought up Rui. Yeah, go ahead.
The fact that Austin Reeves was no disrespect to Austin Reeves, but he shot 5 of 9 for 3, but he was the best shooter. You know what I'm saying? So it's
fuck all that. He was arguably the best offensive player on the court for the Lakers.
And that can't happen when, like I said, LeBron. I'm not faulting LeBron in year 38. Age 38, year 20.
I like how you just mixed both of them. Go ahead.
Yeah, he goes 0 for 6 from the 3. But he still has a decent, efficient game. He finished at the rim. LeBron's doing all he can. The person that's going to get the touches and the opportunity because Jokic can't do shit with him is supposed to be AD, but he doesn't. So
LeBron's going to get killed tomorrow. So if you're a LeBron apologist.
But for what? We killed for what?
Why are you yelling at me? I'm telling you what's going to happen tomorrow.
What is he gonna get killed for? This is AD's team, right? Bron is in Robin mode.
Real.
He's just there to block the shot to get the rebound. AD scored 40 and 10
I'm not
and
arguing
then
with
turned
you.
around.
I'm just telling you what's gonna happen tomorrow.
I'm just fucking sick of
He's
Anthony
gonna get
Davis.
killed on hit up. He's gonna get killed on that show with Bitch Bayless and Shannon Sharp. He's gonna get killed on. He probably won't get killed on first things first.
Can I got something to throw on.
Took down the stretch. The
threes down the
stretch were ill-advised.
Will Vaughn said this, I think it was either before the game or at halftime, talking about Anthony Davis, saying it's kind of the normal for Anthony Davis to have a big game and then he no-shows the next game.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's like, he said that this is the new norm for AD. And like, as much as I disagree with that, but he's not wrong. I mean, this also happened in the Golden State series too.
No, but I mean, the whole thing is that when AD, he's not wrong, because if you look at it, it's always good game, bad game. But my thing is, it's just that it's always the same shots. You know what I'm saying? It's never and sometimes it's maybe like, you know, in the Memphis series, I can question his aggressiveness level, but I'm like, AD, these are literally the same shots. And because it's not Monday, but it's Wednesday now, you're not going to make the same 15-footer.
AD was AD and D'Angelo have the worst, have the 2+ worst minus on the Lakers. Damn, I lost my train of thought. AD only made 4 shots total, which, you know, again, there will be some people talking about him, but this is the Lakers. This is what I wanted to say. The Lakers played well enough and hard enough to win this game, right? Jamal Murray obviously shut the door, knocking down his shots down the stretch. But even when he was hitting those shots, the Lakers fought back and battled back, where it just a couple of these shots that again exhausted. Everybody on the court was exhausted except Austin Reeves for some strange reason. Which, for whatever reason, Darvin Ham just refuses to play Austin Reeves 40 minutes, which I don't know why he just doesn't do that. You're cool playing Bron in AD 40+, but you don't want to play your third best player 40+, which is interesting to me.
So there was
I also feel like Joker, the AD should be shadowing Joker. There's too many minutes where they're not on, he goes with that Rui lineup and then but AD and Joker should always be on the court together at the same time.
Yeah, and Mike Malone snuck some minutes where Joker was out there when AD was getting his last rest. I mean, that was just going to happen from the nature of reason. I think Ham did a good job of getting him a rest at that point, to be honest with you.
I'm going to throw something in this, because
Sure.
This is something that everybody's been saying about the Nuggets, and I'm going to tell y'all better throw some fucking respect on them. Everybody was saying after game 1, oh, the Nuggets ain't going to shoot like this ever again. Like, oh, they're just lucky, you know, that they shot this well percentage. If you've been following the Nuggets the whole playoff series, the Nuggets have been a great shooting team.
Right.
And even in the Phoenix series, especially at home, but in the Phoenix series, the Nuggets were a great
Phoenix is a bunch of turnstiles, so you can
so go ahead. But even before that, even against the Timberwolves, the Nuggets have been
a great defense of the Timberwolves. Keep going.
I'm just saying, when you got a former 2-time defensive player of the year and Anthony Edwards,
he's just a big traffic cone. Keep going.
But listen, we hadn't given them the most points until game 1 in all playoffs. The Lakers hadn't given up that many points all playoffs versus Golden State and Memphis until game 1 versus Nuggets. So
they're going against better offenses. The Nuggets has a better offense. That the matchups are a little different. So.
But I'm saying,
Warriors,
the Lakers
better offense.
The Lakers outbig the Warriors. They can't outbig the Nuggets. That's not going to happen with.
Go ahead, Dustin.
But like I'm saying, everybody I saw on Twitter was sitting here saying, "Oh, the Nuggets ain't ever going to shoot like that again." Well, like I'm looking at the stats again. I mean, we pretty much shot the same. The only thing that we really stood out to me more was the Nuggets shot 37% from 3-pointer versus Lakers 27. But what I'm trying to say is everybody in the media, everybody on Twitter saying, "Oh, the Nuggets can't shoot like that ever again. This is just a fluke." You haven't been watching the Nuggets. They've been doing this the whole playoff series. We're the number 1 playoff offense for a fucking reason.
I will say is you guys have, but Jamal Murray has had some duds where he didn't end up catching fire towards the end like he did in this game.
Yeah.
He had some duds in the Phoenix series where like literally the games where you guys needed them. You guys probably should have swept the Phoenix Suns but Jamal Murray threw up some duds. But he was the Undertaker tonight. You thought he was dead, and he fucking rose from the ashes.
Yeah, and let me tell you, that's why the Nuggets need him.
Yeah,
This is why for the last year and a half, 2 years, I've been preaching. Wait until Jamal gets healthy. You'll see the reason why the Nuggets are
Zach Lowe
gonna.
was basically saying the same thing 2 years ago before Jamal. Adjustments before we move on. Do you have any adjustment, Rev? Do you have any adjustments for Ham and the Lakers to do in Game 3 with any different
overall?
effect?
If I'm being serious about the series, I don't think the series is over. I think the series is right where I want it to be because you take care of home court, we take care of home court. I don't really think there's much more you can adjust, but your best adjustment is to play
still
better.
haven't lost at home.
If you tell me we lose by 5 and Murray shot 2 happy birthdays, cool. I'm good with it. Happy birthday, Jamal. I just googled it today. Oh, it is.
The Nuggets can say the same thing. That bank 3 at the top right corner by Austin Reeves.
Yeah, but the whole thing is, but that kept us in the game. They actually
LeBron holding on his ankle at the other end, and like Austin Reeves banks in a 3. It's fucking crazy.
The camera pans to LeBron. He's sitting there with the big ass grin on his face, like, shaking his head.
You have any adjustments for? Do you think what adjustments do you think the Nuggets are going to make, Dustin, for the Lakers in the second round, or do you feel like they need to not make any adjustments?
The one adjustment I would say is they got to figure out this fucking bench unit. This bench unit when Jokic is sitting for like the end of the, the first quarter.
9 guys I just saw. That's interesting.
His rotation
wasn't in the rotation.
His rotation his rotation all playoffs has been 8 guys.
Yeah.
It's been 8 guys. And tonight he played 9 because of early foul trouble. Reggie played about 3 minutes, and I got rudely reminded why 3 minutes was too much for him.
Yeah, he just didn't look like he was ready for playoff action, which I don't blame him. He hasn't played in the playoffs at all. You can't just throw that man into the playoffs thinking he was ready for playoff intensity. That's
yeah. But after we signed him, it didn't look like it worked out. And same with Thomas Bryant. There's a famous quote by Mike Malone saying, "You got to ask Thomas Bryant why he's not seizing his opportunity." And after that he was pretty much buried on the bench. What I'm curious is
we're more likely to see DeAndre Jordan than Thomas Bryant. Keep going.
I'm just curious to see when Mike Malone actually pulls that trigger, bringing in DeAndre or Zeke Naji into the mix when Jokic goes out, because playing Aaron Gordon at the 5, yeah, it worked out a little bit tonight, but once Jokic stepped off the court, that's when the Lakers made that huge run and went up by what, 12?
10 was like 12. 10, 11.
Yeah, it was it was in that range, and like that's the only thing I gotta say is what he's doing now. He's doing great. Having Bruce Brown close out over KCP, I thought was actually pretty smart. He also needs to stop giving Jeff Green more than 15 minutes because he's hard to watch on the defense. Come on, man.
Uncle Jeff was cool. Whatever. All right. Adjustments for me for the Lakers. Again, we hardly said his name, but Rui Hachimura in the first half was fucking unbelievable. He didn't miss a fucking shot. He hit everything. The first time he missed in his entire game was a fucking awesome ATO out of the fucking break, wide open 3, and he fucking air melted. He's like surprised as fuck that he was open. That's how he fucking missed it. I think they got to find a way to get Rui some more minutes. I think that's really easy to do. I want to say for Ham, I want to say this. I think it's less minutes for D'Lo time. I think in the first quarter you see if he has it. Like D'Lo's one of those players too, where you can kind of tell in the first quarter, in the first couple minutes, to see if he has it tonight, if the jumper's working, if he's getting separation, if he's making good plays. If not, I would cut him because Dennis actually fits better with this team. He just Dennis does everything but just doesn't shoot well.
Then he got his shit beat on because he got that long ass fucking wind up that he got to shoot from his fucking hip in the fourth quarter. Sorry about that. I was really pissed off about. Yeah. We're in the game and Dennis Schroeder has an open 3 and hit that wind up. really pisses me the fuck off.
I don't want to say less Lonnie Walker, but Lonnie didn't look great today either. More minutes for Austin Reeves. More minutes, please, Ham.
It's 38. Well, how many more minutes you want?
He played 36. I want him in the 40s like LeBron and AD. He looks like he's fresh.
I don't know about that knee.
I think they should try Vanderbilt a little more. I think him being out there hurt the Nuggets a little more than expected. I feel like the changeup with him out there actually helped. But I could see the Nuggets just putting Joker on him and just having Joker muck up the paint and just trying to dare Vando to shoot. What else?
So I got a fun little statistic to throw at you.
Sure.
So out of 447 games played in the NBA Conference Finals, right, series, the team that has a lead going up 2-0 after tonight has won the series 92.6% of the time. And teams that recovered from a 0-2 deficit has been 7.4. And I hate to say this, LeBron could be in that 7.4 because he, like I said, he's like Tom Brady in the way that you got LeBron on your team.
Like all these stats that come out, like they're all good to hear, but like this has been the weirdest playoffs. Like we have a fucking 8th seed ahead of the fucking 2 seed in the fucking Eastern Conference. Right?
Yeah. I think the play-in throws that off now.
It's a whole bunch like the and then this can be the transition, so we're done with them.
I think we got to have a pre-bubble and pre-play-in.
We're gonna move on to the Celtics and the Heat, but like literally, the Heat were the 26th offense during the regular season. I think they scored 113 points, which is the realm of the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Charlotte Hornets, if I remember correctly. But during the playoffs, they're scoring 126 points, which is like 2 notches away from the Warriors. It's freaking crazy, and they haven't done anything different besides make more threes. It's fucking crazy. Kyle Lowry's been brought back to life. But yeah, so the Heat are up 1-0 on the Boston Celtics as we're recording this. They play tomorrow, Friday, in Boston. For those who are keeping count at home, the Miami Heat, through all 3 of their rounds in the playoffs so far, have won, being the underdog, have won game 1 in every one of the series, each one, which has only happened. I can't remember the other team that's done it, but it's been like 20 years since it's happened. It's freaking crazy. For those who don't believe in Heat culture, it's a real thing.
It's not real. Hashtag Heat culture, whatever.
Hashtag Heat culture.
Just a bunch of G League dudes that play hard.
Hey, Gab.
And Jimmy fucking Butler.
Hey, Gab. You gotta say Heat culture for the one time. Come on, you gotta come on here and say Heat culture. Come on, you gotta strut your big guy, Pat Riley.
Not just Pat Riley, it is also Eric Spoelstra. Don't ever put some fucking respect on that guy's fucking name. 7 undrafted fucking players on the roster.
Look.
And what the fuck are we doing to the Boston Celtics right now? Beating them on their fucking home court.
Look. Nobody's doubting as I've been screaming from rooftops to everybody, the bubble was real. I don't want to hear anything. Nobody talk about the bubble again.
My thing is who kept saying it wasn't.
People, what do you mean? People has been down the bubble since it happened. Mickey Mouse.
And I never listened to those people.
Me neither.
I don't acknowledge anybody who tries to not validate a championship because that's stupid.
Everybody went through the same condition. All I keep saying is like everybody went through the same thing. It was like there were no fans. Okay. Everybody went through the same thing. There was no home court advantage. Okay. Everybody went through the same thing. They didn't have their families. Okay. Everybody went through the same thing. It was pure basketball and the best and whatever. Anyway. Whatevs. Yeah, so what do you guys think of this series, man? Clearly it's gonna be long. It's gonna be a longer series now because I don't think Boston, while Boston defensively have had their struggles, I think they figured out what they need to do from offensively. Jason Tatum, it's been trick or treat with Jason Tatum. Between Game 6, him arguably playing the worst game by a superstar, top 5 player, Jarrell says about Jason Tatum. and then literally becoming the Undertaker in Game 6, saving their season, and then him just turned into a fucking volcano eruption in Game 7, couldn't miss shit. Having the record for Game 7, dropping 51, and then literally turned into another pumpkin in Game 1 against Jimmy Buckets. So yeah, biggest takeaways for you guys, man. For Rell, I'll start with you with this series, and then
this series is one of. I would say this series is. I like the series as far as like the matchups go, like the cross matching that they're doing. Like when I watch the Heat, I like watching what Spo's going to do. How is he going to draw? So what matchup is he going to focus on? But overall, I just think this is like Jason Tatum, like he's
relentless. That's what I would say. Relentless.
I just don't understand.
Like he stole something for them.
I just don't understand what's up with this Boston team. Like, and it's really frustrating. And I'm not even a Boston. I hate Boston. Fuck Boston overall. But but I just don't know. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Like Jason Tatum didn't even the turnovers in the fourth. Hell, even going down, like they've lost several games in the playoffs this year. I don't even know what their record is, but I can count the ones that were in Atlanta. Dating back to last year too.
Philly win two of Philly's wins was on Boston's court. Yeah. Two of their wins.
I just don't know. I don't know about this team anymore. And I think they can lose. And I think they're gonna lose the series now because they fucked around. I believe it's hard to. I'm telling you, when you get in that building, when you get in that Heat arena, and that flames start pumping and the Heat is on. No, they do the Heat is on too when they win. But it's hard to win that fucking arena. And I feel like when you're at this stage of the playoffs, the first thing you got to do is win at home. So I don't believe so they didn't. They struggled. And whatever happened, no matter what happens in Game 2, I believe Boston's in trouble, not only for this year, but I believe that there's some questions you got to ask about the pairing of Tatum and Brown.
Dustin?
I just got to say, it's that time of year where Hemi Butler comes out and he has no fucking regards for who the fuck you are. He's coming at you for the whole fucking game. And, everybody was saying is, oh, Bam doesn't have another go-to guy with him. And that's kind of Heat culture right now is let Jimmy be Jimmy, and then whoever is around him is gonna fucking show up. One game
Bam is one player I am disappointed in. I would not cut you off, but I would say that Bam is somebody who even though he had 20 points a game one, I just need another level for Bam to help Jimmy.
So Zach talked about on the pod this. I kind of agree with Zach on the pod where he was basically like, people want Bam to be this certain type of player. He should bully this. Like, Bam is. If there's one player in the league that can guard 1 through 5, I think Bam is number 1 on my list to guard 1 through 5. He has no
need help on offense, and he don't even be looking at the rim sometimes.
Sometimes he's passive. I agree with that. No problem. But
I just hate that damn dribble handoff where he don't even look at the rim. But go ahead, Justin.
My thing is with Bam, you already asked so much for that dude on the defensive end,
Yeah.
And on the defensive end, sometimes you can't bring it on the offensive side, and that's what
that was my thing for AD. Like that's why I feel like AD played an A-B+ defensive game today as well.
Difference is Bam is 6'9", AD 7 foot. So
yeah, but that's also the difference is y'all gotta remember
to win today though.
Bam is only 6'9". You can't expect even though he plays center, he's 6'9". He's not gonna be moving Al Horford. He's not gonna be moving these guys around. Like his post game, if anything, he's kind of almost in a way just be like Julius Randle, play downhill.
But would you rather have Draymond on offense or Bam Adebayo?
I'd rather have Bam because Bam will still get you to clean up around, and he'll still get you 20 points consistently.
Having Steph makes Draymond good because the attention that's drawn to Steph.
But I do definitely got to say, shout out to the resurgence of Kyle Lowry. He went missing in the regular season.
That fat bastard.
And he's showing up when the lights are the brightest. But I do agree.
-11 and they still won yesterday. Him and
how they're getting 28 minutes out of Kyle Lowry at this point. It's like somebody needs to investigate this shit, bro. Like he was dead for 6 months and he played 28 minutes in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Impossible.
Whatever they're doing over there in Miami.
The thing that's killing me is literally the fucking, as Bill Simmons would call them, the zombie heat made Cody Zeller a fucking valuable playoff fucking player. How is Cody Zeller playing playoff basketball and not getting murdered?
How the fuck is he still in the league? That's the better question to ask. Huh? How the fuck is he still in the league?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think that's the right Martin. I believe that's the other part. I believe that's the other part because there's a couple times, there was a couple threes, and I was like, wait a minute,
it's like, that's not your jump shot.
Hey,
that's the best thing to do when you have a twin. Stop hating.
Hey, the Morris twins pulled that off.
They pulled that off
a couple years.
I can't wait for the tell-all book when they do that. When they just talk all the time they switch.
Because we got the good one in the bubble.
That's what I'm saying. The good one came over.
So I do gotta say though, Rell is onto something, but I think he's wrong. I think you're wrong about the Brown and Tatum comparison. I think that the Boston Celtics have a bigger issue than that, and I think it's a Marcus Smart issue, a Robert Williams issue, and an Al Horford issue, and a Grant Williams issue.
But those are the parts you can change.
They won't play Grant Williams.
But that's what I'm saying.
And he was supposed to be, didn't he want like 40 million or something, or 50 million or something this year?
He wanted to get paid like he was Draymond.
He's gonna be a great Spur. He's gonna be a great Spur playing with Victor.
He won't even be a Spur.
We'll get to that.
He'll be a great Blazer.
He'll be a great Spur. Keep going.
He'll be a great Blazer.
Yeah. He'll go back to Memphis. He's from Tennessee, so let him go to Memphis.
But that's my thing, though.
There's still a team in Memphis. Keep going.
But my thing is I just think that Tatum and Brown combined, since they've been in the league, this is what, their 4th or 5th or 6th Eastern Conference final that they've been to. It's tough.
A hell of a run.
It's tough to break that up. And
I would say the one person I'm out on is Jaylen Brown. I'm just done. I'm out on him.
I still think it amazes me how he still dribbles the ball off his foot like 3 or 4 times a game.
I don't know about you, but Tatum or Brown, if I fucking close my eyes, I don't want to see either one of them ever dribble a basketball again. I'm sick of it. Neither one of them have a handle. I mean, Jason Tatum, he dribbles like a baby deer sometimes. I'm like, Jason Tatum.
Oh, that's what I call Vando. Keep going.
Like, I just don't understand Jason Tatum's handle sometimes. I mean, he dribbles the ball out so far in front of you, and he has to snatch you on the first move, because if you don't, you're probably going to catch up to it. Same thing with Jaylen Brown. He's a beeline dribbler. They have nobody with any sauce in their bag. They got nobody with anybody who can kind of create a little. I mean, they got creators who can really dribble like that. But honestly, I just think that's leading to these Heat turnovers. Because look at that fucking fourth quarter and look at all the things that happen. Look at all the traveling, the stupid closeout pump fake 1 foot shit that he does, and he pump fakes the shot up, and he does, but he holds the foot. He was traveling on those. I'm like, this is on Jason Tatum. Like,
they don't call traveling. I hate to be the person. So real quick, I mean, you guys have knocked it out, so I don't even need to add anything. I think Boston's gonna win game 2. And then they're going to go home, and Miami might win the next 2, depending on how that home crowd is. The only thing with Miami is if they're knocking down threes, they're going to put themselves in good position to win. Looking ahead, and I hate to be this person, but I just listened to a pod where they broke down the new CBA and all the rules and everything. I don't know. Like, there's going to be a lot of teams ducking the second apron. Because the penalties are just so high. We're not like, we might see one team go into the second apron for 1 year, but they're not. You're never going to see repeaters because the fucking penalties are so bad, right?
It's almost NFL salary cap.
It's like a soft cap. I think that Boston's going to start shedding some of these pieces. So this might be the best Boston team we see for a while until this cap comes.
I think
because
That I agree with you. I'm saying I think that you're onto something.
There's no way that Boston's going to be able to keep Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum on 2 supermaxes because they're going to have to offer Jaylen Brown the supermax. Jason Tatum is he's already eligible because he made first team All NBA.
Wait, has Jaylen Brown made an All NBA team?
He made third team this year, or second. He made second team this year.
Second team.
Oh, okay,
but truthfully, I think that they're
not going to be able to keep all these pieces.
The roster's better with trading Jaylen Brown if they don't win a championship this year.
That's what I'm saying. So so we honestly might be looking at the last hurrah of the Boston Celtics because them, like a couple other teams, they're gonna have to start shedding. Talent is gonna you're gonna see these big name teams start shedding talent. It's gonna be really weird.
Here's my question, and then maybe you can help me out understand this. How is it that if teams are going to start shedding salaries, but the price of contracts are going up?
Yep.
So where's the I don't understand who is this really going to benefit in the long term grand scheme of things? Because if the contracts are going up, the salary cap hasn't really increased unless they're waiting until the new TV deal comes along. What
new TV deal?
What is that? What is this apron shit really gonna do other than piss people off?
I got an idea.
It's
an expansion. They're trying to get all these big name players spread out. So when they do this expansion where they add 2 to 4 teams,
sure. That's an idea, but expansion's not coming to another 6, 8
till after the TV deal, and then 4 years after that.
Yeah, but that's what I'm thinking that they're getting ready for. Because to me, to use them as an example is the Warriors, right? They had that injury cap, and they went out and got Vincenzo and all that shit. They wouldn't have gotten Vincenzo before that because of the cap, or with the new cap that's coming out. So I think
I don't have a problem with those.
No, they got Vincenzo for the tax and players.
Yeah,
they got it.
Yeah, that's it. But that was the mini. Yeah. But don't you lose your mid-level exempt after a certain apron, or
you talk about if you're in the second apron?
Yeah, you're in the second apron. Don't you lose your mid-level
penalties
exemption?
are bad. Okay, so this is real nerdy. So I understand that people want to listen to this, but I'm gonna first talk about just some of the second apron stuff. Yes. So on top of you losing your taxpayer MLE, which actually is money now, it's like somewhere in the $8 to $10 million range. Obviously, they freeze your picks. So we're in 2023. If you're in the second apron, they would freeze your 2027 and 2028 pick, and you can't touch them at all. You can't trade them. You can't move them. You can't add them to anything until you're out of the tax for a whole year. So you can't jump out and be like, oh, I can trade this. You have to be out for an entire season. So Rell, you asked the question.
To this shit.
It's fucking crazy. You asked the question, who does this benefit? It benefits the superstars because they're going to be the one that's making $60 to $70 million. Like Luka's next contract, he's going to be the one. Luka's going to be making upwards of $60 to $70 million.
But here's my rebuttal to your question is that if the market is going up, but they're trying to stop teams from spending, does that make sense to you?
Say it again. I'm sorry.
The market is going up for players, but they want teams to
for
stop
superstar
spending.
Players. The middle class is the one that's getting fucked.
Got you.
That's
all I wanted to know.
Yeah. The middle class players.
There's not going to be any more Chandler Parsons.
You're going to see great players and just taking the taxpayer the taxpayer MLE and shit like that. There's going to be great teams are going to be more selfish with player options. You're going to see a lot of players just doing team options because they're just going to want to take that security of having that money. It's going to be really, really strange in the next 7 years because the players accepted this. But the crazy, this is going to be the whole thing that's being talked about, but there's a whole bunch of other cool benefits that the players got that, won't even be talked about. I'm sorry for anybody that want to talk about this tax nerd stuff. All right, so let's talk about some draft stuff. All right, so Tuesday, sorry, I forgot what day it was. So before game one of the NBA, the Western Conference Finals, we had the draft lottery. And just like we talked about Victor Wembanyama, the San Antonio Spurs got the number 1 overall pick. The Charlotte Hornets got the number 2 overall pick. The Portland Trailblazers got the number 3 overall pick. So obviously, they're not allowed to announce it anymore, which is weird too. By the way, they're not. How they can just declare yo, we're taking this. Like the Cavaliers when the Cavaliers got the number 1 overall pick, the LeBron year, they was just we don't care who's after that. We're taking LeBron. They can't announce it, but obviously they're going to take Victor Wembanyama. There's been a lot of talk and a lot of speculation and a lot of hype around Victor Wembanyama. A lot of people have come out and said a lot of crazy things about Victor Wembanyama, but So Woj came out on the show and said he spoke to several GMs in the NBA that said not only is Victor Wembanyama the greatest NBA prospect of all time, he's the greatest prospect in professional sports of all time. And I don't have the range to even declare that. That'd be like a real thing because obviously he watches. Obviously we watch baseball. He watches baseball. I do not. You guys, we all watch football, but how is that even a thing? Like, who?
Truthfully, I think the greatest prospect ever was your boy Peyton Manning, because everybody knew what he was.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Ryan Leaf had the hype too, though. That was the same year.
But if you saw Peyton at Tennessee at UT, you knew he was that dude. He was a walking offense, and like that to me. And then he came in and he installed his own offense in his first year. So that to me is the greatest prospect ever. That's why I just want to shit on that more so than even LeBron James, because LeBron James lived up to his level of of what he could do at a high school level. Peyton Manning, I mean, even though Peyton Manning never won a championship at Tennessee, he was still one of the better quarterbacks in the draft that year. I personally, and from what he did, from like he was dominant in college, and then dominant in the field, I just think it's Peyton Manning. But I can't say for Vic because I just think all the best prospect shit ever is just, I don't know, just kind of like, measuring straws. It just doesn't really matter. Like
they're putting a lot of hype. Go ahead, Dustin.
So this Victor Wembanyama hype that everybody's like buying into about how he is kind of falls into the whole Zion thing, right? Zion built like this. Oh, hold on,
I'm gonna let you talk, but no, it's not the same thing. But keep going.
With Zion, everybody followed him in middle school, right? Everybody followed him in high school. Everybody followed him in Duke.
He ball his life every 2 minutes.
Yeah, so he built that reputation. Is not saying as the best prospect, but he had the most hype because of all the following that he had on social media, right? And his play backed it up. And I feel like it's kind of like the same thing with Victor Wembanyama. Once he started getting it going, that's all everybody I saw on Twitter was posting clips of. Is, oh my God, look at this guy, look at this guy. And the sheer amount of people that came out here to watch Victor play, the 2 games that he came out here in Henderson and played,
all got to saw live,
yeah, like there was a lot of NBA eyes and a lot of people that were curious to see who this guy was that showed up. And I got fortunate enough to see both games. And I'll tell you what, the first game was a little rough. He did still play phenomenal, but the second game he stood out. And I can see why people say that he's like one of the greatest prospects ever. But I'm just thinking right now in NHL, they have this kid from Canada that everybody's been tanking for the last.
Drafted to the Blackhawks, right?
Or he hasn't got drafted yet, but they're expecting the Blackhawks. Yeah,
he's going to the Blackhawks.
That's the same thing. Like it's kind of tough to say you're the best prospect.
He's a prodigy.
What's his name?
I don't know his name, to be honest with you. I only when it comes down to hockey.
Look up his name while I talk right now, and then we could get to it.
The only time I pay attention to hockey is when it's the Golden Knights and the Habs. That's about it.
That's how I'm with football right now. Basically, so yeah, I'm with Rell. I don't know why I didn't think of Peyton Manning, but I just think the greatest prospect of all time is kind of hype. Chris Broussard said some
Connor Bedard.
Yeah, Connor Bedard. Yeah.
So Chris Broussard said some crazy shit on First Things First. Did you guys hear what he said?
Yes.
Yeah.
So Chris Broussard, awesome basketball analyst. I trust his knowledge. He has an NBA vote. I think he's really astute and smart when it comes to basketball. But this man fixed his mouth to say that a KD, Anthony Davis type of career would be a disappointment for Victor Wembanyama. And I don't know how you can say that. That's just wild. So, like, again, and then so to go off, piggyback off what something else Woj said that during the same telecast for the draft, he said, and I'm make sure I want to get the quote correctly. He said there's GMs that believe that Victor Wembanyama 3 years from now will be the best offensive and defensive player in the league. And again, the hype they're trying to create for this kid. Again, I'm calling him a kid. He's 19, but he is, he's a kid to us. We're older than him. But there's been no player that's been the best at offense and defensive league at the same time besides Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. That's it. End of list. There's no other players that's done that. Mike didn't do that. Bron never did that. There was never one time where the best offensive player was this also the same best defensive player in the league. No.
What about Bill Russell?
I can't go back to that Rolodex, but I know Kareem was.
What about Giannis's finals run? Like that whole year? No. Okay. I had asked.
No, but I would just say this: it's gonna be hard because I don't know. I'll be honest with you, as somebody who has watched this game a lot, and I've been watching a lot. You know what's crazy too? That I found out that this is the team that he's on. It actually might be folding real soon. Like
who said
that? Wendy said it.
Wendy said it.
Yeah.
Boris Diaw just fronted the money to get this dude to the Spurs. What you mean?
Hey, you know what? That's the next. That's the next thing I want to get to. It's just the fact that this. Here we go.
Conspiracy theory.
No,
get your shit off.
I mean, I do think it's just weird. Like, how did the Spurs get y'all don't think it's kind of weird?
I love the fact that he's going to the Spurs.
I don't.
If he would have went to Houston,
I think that sucks.
If he would have went to Houston, I would have been mad. Charlotte would have been okay. Blazers, they would have been doing cartwheels. Detroit
with Buc-ee's out there. Victor Wembanyama, they got a Buc-ee's. That's a gas station with they sell food.
Detroit would have been fine.
No, Detroit would have been awful for him.
I mean, him and K could be fun.
Bro,
I'm not a K fan anymore.
The only problem with it doesn't matter, but the only problem with Detroit is that they already got like fucking 4 centers over there.
They got 5, bro. They just traded for Wiseman to top it out.
They don't need another 7 foot plus. Orlando would have been really fun. Like Orlando, if you want to talk about fun, just best case scenario.
If they really wanted to help him, you put him with Tibbs and the Knicks. The Mavericks lose the pick. From the Porzingis trade. Hold on, let me finish. The 10 pick goes to 1. The Knicks get the number 1. You put Victor Wembanyama and New Yorker Brunson and Thibodeau, and then we're back, baby.
So Thibodeau can literally kill Victor Wembanyama.
No, that's just a myth, bro.
42 minutes in his first year.
Listen. Tibbs just won't cats that can play. Not like Tibbs. I'm a Tibbs guy now. I'm in. Like Tibbs. Like if I didn't have a Ham, I want a Tibbs.
Tibbs, you gotta check when you get a Knick player. You gotta check the Carfax on him because that miles on that tread is fucked.
No, is it his fucking fault that he had nobody else to play at the end of the game? He's just gonna play who he wants to play.
He had the poor Quentin Grimes. Anyway,
he sat Julius in a playoff game. What are you talking about?
Well, that's because Julius
in a playoff game.
That's because Julius sucks and Dwight Howard is right. He should probably just play. For those who don't know, Dwight Howard is trying to recruit a whole bunch of people to Taiwan, and Julius Randle's one of them.
For another reason, though.
Anyway. All right, so obviously we saved this for last, and then we're going to get up out of here. So obviously, before last time we recorded, the John Morant stuff was not reported. Actually, was it reported?
Oh, we get to talk about John Wick?
John Wick
part 2. So I don't necessarily want to talk about John Wick
I do.
that deep.
I do.
I want to talk about JJ Redick's comments about Ja. So JJ Redick went on First Take and went viral. I don't want to have the quotes right in front of me, but I'm gonna give you guys the gist of what he said. Actually, I probably should get the quotes because I don't want to misquote him. Do you know do you have the gist of what he said basically or no?
I don't want to misquote him, but pretty much like JJ Redick said that he didn't break any laws. He
didn't break any laws. Twitter.
He said that basically that this country doesn't condemn politicians and people who are in high political forums, but we want to throw this kid out who was 23 years old who didn't do anything wrong. JJ Redick, let me tell you one thing, and I'm just get this off real quick. JJ Redick, nobody watches our local politicians that play basketball. Nobody watches our local politicians for entertainment purposes. Nobody does that. Nobody buys the shoes. Nobody buys the jersey. I don't buy a fucking suit jacket and say, "Oh, this is my local politician's favorite suit jacket that I'm gonna wear it just because of him." Is you ready to just shut up and start? Oh my god, I can't believe he has to get his contract.
So I agree with Rell on this, but for the politician thing that he was referring to, he mentioned that there was a politician that for their Christmas card, him and his whole family, yeah, and they sent it out. But here's my thing is this is what Draymond came out and said this. The clip has been circulating around on Twitter today. Draymond pretty much said, "Hey, look, dude, like you saw the interview with Adam Silver at the draft when he got asked the question, and he said he was hurt. And Draymond Green pretty much said it. He said Adam Silver is a player advocate.
Commissioner.
Yeah, a player commissioner. And for you to have this conversation with him and then to pretty much go against him, that kind of hurts. And especially right now, like in America, we're having issues with gun violence in schools, in malls, in shootings and everything else. And predominantly, a lot of these kids who like John Morant that you see hitting the fucking gritty in their fucking basketball games at their fucking Boys and Girls Club.
City,
all this shit that John Morant has influence on.
That trick?
All that stuff. The NBA is a business at the end of the day, and you're one of the faces of the business. And when you're waving a gun around and like it, especially with the influence you have, it's not a good look for the NBA. It's not a good look for the Grizzlies, and especially for the amount of run-ins that John Morant has had in the last 6 months. Is like it's not a good track record. And Gilbert Arenas said it too, or Gilbert Arenas kind of said it. He's the one who had the first gun punishment in the NBA, and he said pretty much like you're fucking with their money.
So you hit on something that I wanted to talk about. So there's a lot of he did nothing wrong Twitter going on. So like Jarrell sent the JJ thing, and it was a lot of. I read the comments. Again, I don't normally go and sometimes I do, but I go in the comments to just get a general consensus of what people in what I like to call sheeple think, right? And it was a lot of that's right, JJ. You tell me he did nothing wrong. It was a lot of that. In the comment section. To those people, I say this: for those who he did nothing wrong, Twitter, those people. I'm gonna use an example, and if I can remember the person that I listened to that said this, I would say their name, but and give them credit, but I don't remember it. It might have been Nick Wright, but I don't remember off the top of my head. Same situation. So say if me and my partner record ourselves having sex, and it's leaked on social, right? And then your employer sees it, right? They can be like, "Hey, whoa, buddy, just you didn't do nothing wrong, but just don't leak that. Just keep that to yourself." Mm-hmm. And then we have a conversation and we talk back and forth, and we I explained to them and I say that won't happen again. I was compassionate and I told them that I don't think that I understand how that was wrong. And then in 2 months it happens again, and the same thing happens again, and I leak it on Twitter again.
Just a freak, bro.
Yeah, I'm just a freak. They're like, why do people feel like there shouldn't be punishment for your repercussions for actions? Like,
it's because
we're not asking for him to go in handcuffs. We're not asking for him to go to jail. We're asking him that his employer, the place that wants to expand, and he's a face of Nike. To not
also Coca-Cola,
Powerade.
Mind you, Powerade hadn't had an athlete in 5 years. He was John Morant was the first one they dealt with, and this is the shit they pull.
They're just asking you to not be stupid and flash your gun and have a gun, and then in this, I can say this in closing, then you guys can pick back off of this. So. I said we weren't going to talk about the specific of John Morant thing, but this conversation was brought up, and I thought this was interesting too. Why do you guys feel like John Morant has a gun on him, right? Like, so, like, why do you feel like he feels the need to have a gun around him? Because there was another video because not only has John Morant been doing that, but he's been also promoting club, like he's been doing IG model shit where he's been like club promoting, like where he's gonna be at a club and he's getting paid. It's just like, you're an NBA fucking athlete. Why are you club promoting like you're fucking fine IG honey? But he's been in some of these clubs that aren't in the best of places. So there's no video of this, but this is just word of mouth. He was standing on a car holding a gun at one point at one of these places in Memphis but again, there's no video, there's no picture. This is just word of mouth. People stuff was saying, and it wasn't in one of the nicest neighborhoods. From what was said. So yeah, I don't know how the NBA is going to go about this. We've heard 20 games. I've heard 40 games. I heard the whole season. I think that's extreme.
You know what? I've changed my tune. I don't want no suspension. I just want John Morant to keep shaking his dick at the league until the car crash. I'm just waiting on the car crash, and that's all I want. Whether it be a murder case or whether it be somebody running up on him, fuck it. I don't care if you don't care.
Gonna learn them.
I don't care. So here's the thing. I don't give a fuck. Don't suspend him. Let him bring the blick to the bench. I don't give a fuck at this point. At this point, when you do stupid shit, and the whole thing is, I knew he was full of shit when he gave that bullshit answer.
No, you don't think his 78 hours in Florida saved him?
8 hours in Florida, like he just don't care. And the whole thing is like he's somebody who I feel like
he
has money and he wants to prove I can still do Ja shit well, I'm not fuck this shit. I'm not calling motherfucker Ja no more. I'm not Tamarius shit. I can still do Tamarius shit and still do and still have all this money. But like Charles Buckley said, you can be Tamarius, but you can't be in the NBA. So it's fine. Whatever murder charge, I feel like this Aaron Hernandez situation coming up real soon. It's gonna be a murder charge coming up because he doesn't get it and he don't give a fuck either.
This guy,
he don't give a fuck. I feel like we're.
So real quick before we get out of here,
highway to hell.
Do you guys think? I've been asking people and I've gotten mixed questions. Do you think Nike pulls his shoe?
They already did. They already did.
Like he's going to be but like, do you think he's no longer going to be a Nike signature?
They should. I hope so. I hope
they
should.
They already pulled
off. So Rell, you say they should, and Dustin, what do you say?
They already pulled his.
They pushed back his release, but they haven't pulled the sticker yet.
Nah, they pulled it off of the website. They took the date off of everything.
We're talking about the actual deal.
I understand. Or do you think Nike is going to leave him?
Yeah. I think Nike has learned its lesson over the years. I think they pull it, but I do gotta say, this video going around of the 8 Mile shit of Eminem rapping over it, and they're going through Jaws live. That shit's funny as fuck. But
Ja, you just know we can scratch that shit off and turn that shit into who ain't got a signature sneaker out right now. It can easily.
I was joking with somebody else.
And if only you acted the way you were in that commercial, nigga, just show up to play basketball and stick to you in that commercial.
That commercial where you was getting beat on by the Lakers that kept on coming on. where you was parking in different parking spots.
Do all the John Morants have guns in the video? Now I'm questioning, do all the Jaws have guns? Do we need to question all the Jaws?
And I just think
I was joking with somebody that I think they're just gonna give the Ja one, they're gonna change the name and they're just gonna give it to De'Aaron Fox and call it the Fox one.
Bro, might as well
just slide it to De'Aaron Fox. Just slide it to De'Aaron Fox.
Hey, no, at this point they're gonna apologize to Paul George. Hey, Paul George, sorry, we're gonna rebrand your shoe again. Here you go.
No, you already asked nigga. Just hey D Book, I know you've been balling all of a sudden, but here's the D Book one. Anyway.
And I do think he gets suspended. I don't think it should be for half of the season.
How many games do you say ballpark?
I would say ballpark. I think anywhere between the 20 to 25. I think missing like a quarter of the season is going to be better than missing like half of the season.
And to be honest, the way he load managed, it don't really matter because it's like he go that 20 games he gonna miss it regardless.
The crazy thing is, this is gonna help the Memphis Grizzlies because he won't be able to play that many games. So if we go off what Dustin's scenario is, he only plays 20 games. Next year they're implementing. You don't get awards if you play 65 games, right? You have to play 65 games. So
Yeah.
Ja Morant, that's 2 years. He's not. That means he's 2 years. He's not got All NBA or MVP, so he won't be eligible for the Super Duper Max, which in essence just saves the Memphis Grizzly. If he gets his shit together, just its essence just saves the Memphis Grizzly from having playing a buckload of money, so they'll be able to get more players.
I would never ever give the motherfucker.
It kind of just saves the Grizzlies a little bit. But
they should try to. I'll end on this.
If we're keeping it a buck and a half, if he would have played the entire season, he probably would have made All NBA. He probably would have took De'Aaron Fox spot. Go ahead.
Contrary to the conversation we had with Jesse, they definitely should try to trade him. The headache is not worth the fucking production. It's just not. Your organization, no one player is bigger than your whole fucking team. And when you do that, and when you make a player better than your whole team, you just keep feeding into this bullshit. He's never gonna change. I would try to trade his ass right now.
I'm gonna say my last part of this.
Okay.
When are we gonna start blaming the Grizzlies organization?
They're clearly enablers. They're clearly enablers.
Blame them for what?
But hold, my thing is they enabled this whole Grizzly situation from Dylan Brooks.
On the Hoop Collective a couple months ago and talked about how they're finally owning up to some of the stuff they let slide, as far as letting Ja.
And then you hear the player
stay, like after a away game, let the team stay over because the superstar usually controls when the plane.
Listen, when you ain't been with somebody that's that good in a while, you're gonna break your back a couple times, try to bend over backwards.
That's true.
But here, Kev, like the thing that you said earlier kind of like sparked something that we heard in the reports and ended up coming out true. Is you said that Ja's been promoting the club shit, right? Yeah. And before the whole gun incident in Denver happened, they had the team meeting where Steven Adams was pretty much calling out Ja, saying, "Hey, bro, stop going out to the club, stop drinking. Like, let's get the fuck out of here." And I hate to say this, but I want to put some of this blame on the Grizzlies. You enabled this shit. You should own up to it. And quite frankly, even though that they should be punishing Ja, they should also be punishing the Grizzlies for this as well, because you 100%. Enabled the fuck out of it.
So all that being said, the real people are not being pointed as the problem. The real people who are to blame for this is the Los Angeles Lakers for putting the Grizzlies out too soon, because if they were still playing, Ja Morant wouldn't be doing what he's doing. All right. Anyway. All right. So, all right, Dustin, thank you for coming on, man. Especially, I know you're on cloud 9. Your team won 2-0.
It's not cloud 9 yet, Kev. It's cloud 2.
As a Laker legend, the Laker legend once said, "Job's not finished. Job's not done."
That only applies to us. You can't apply it to nobody else, bro. You out of here. You out of Laker Nation.
Lakers should do what they need to do at home. Protect home court. They haven't lost in the entire playoffs at home. So we'll see how that goes. But the tough thing is they got to win 4 games they got to win 4 of the next
4 and 5, which is
tough. It says a whole lot. All right. Thank you guys for listening. We appreciate you. We love you guys. We're those millennials and Dustin, and we're out.